Welcome everyone to NJ Hoop Recruit, powered by All Abilities Live. This is the third day of the Metro Classic broadcast, and if you've been watching the last 2 days, you've never seen our two beautiful faces, but we're here for pregame, postgame, and halftime. I'm Vincent McCone, and I'm joined by Luke Sirianni. Luke, first of all, how are we doing today? We got an 8-game slate.
I'm excited, Vincent. Happy to be here at Franklin for the Metro Classic. A lot of great talent, and we're only on game number 1. We got 8 games to go. It's going to be a long day, but I'm pumped up.
It's going to be extremely exciting. We can't win it just like we are. We're starting off with St. Thomas More from Connecticut against Olympus from Delaware. Now, St. Thomas More to start off, 12-3 on the season so far. Right in the action. 12-3 on the season so far, but started off 7-0. This is a fun team to watch. We got a lot of people to watch. They actually played here at the Metro Classic yesterday. Luke, what do you have to say about them?
I'm looking out for Tyler Betsy. 30 points against Blair. He already made some noise here at Franklin. A lot of basketball left to go. He's committed to Cincinnati. Bright future ahead for the kid.
Yeah, absolutely. Tyler Betsy is an incredible player to watch. Now, on this other Olympus side, we've got a number 5 that everyone's looking out for.
Yeah, Karan Smith, great shooter, electric scorer, great first step in his game. He's a smart player. They got a lot of talent on both sides here.
The matchup is going to be extremely fun to watch. And now, Jared Quinn is the coach for St. Thomas More. He is only the 4th coach in St. Thomas More history. You want to know why? Because he was hired back in 1978. That's how you know that this guy is legit. He is in the Naismith Hall of Fame. You have a Hall of Fame inductee, a great coach since 1978, and I think they're going to show it here at the Metro Classic here tonight.
Yeah, I'm excited. He has a lot of experience. He knows basketball. These kids are good, but Coach knows a lot more. He's been around the game, and now he's here developing some great young talent.
Now, before we send you over to Brandon Morazzo and Jack Bartak, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll see you during halftime.
Back here at Franklin High School in Somerset, New Jersey, the third and final day of the 2024 Metro Classic. Jack Bartek alongside Brandon Morazzo in the first game of the day. 2 local prep schools facing off. It's St. Thomas More and Olympus Academy. Brandon, we saw St. Thomas More yesterday. A powerful performance, but they'll be shorthanded once again today, losing Tyler Betsy in addition to who they were without yesterday.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, Betsy had a fantastic showing towards the end of that first half. Really started picking up, ends up, I believe, the second leading scorer in the entire game.
Yeah, 30 points on the night.
And it was just absolutely fantastic. I mean, but him not being on the court now, we've always talked about this next man up mentality. Who's going to be able to take that spotlight? Who's going to earn some more minutes? Who's going to be able to show a legendary coach that they got a little more in the gas tank?
And on the other side for Olympus Academy, a fairly new start to their rebuild, rebrand, and so a year where they've started out 5-8, but plenty of upside for this squad coached by Jamal Womack.
No, absolutely, and you know, since I've walked in the building this morning, there's been talk of one man and one man only. Not to say there's not other great players on there, but everybody wants to see Karan Smith, the senior 6-foot guard from Baltimore, Maryland. His shooting has been kind of legendary from what we've been hearing.
And we're going to step aside here for a second for the national anthem. So we're just about set for tip-off here at Franklin High School. Maz, again, we saw St. Thomas More yesterday. A little bit of a different look today. What are you expecting out of the Chancellors?
Well, we know that they are just a gritty team for sure. I mean, they've had success on the season, 23-4. That's not just your stars making plays. That's having depth. That's others coming alive when you need them to. And seeing this new look unit, I'm expecting nothing less but the best that Connecticut has to offer.
And on the other side for Olympus Academy, any keys for you?
Oh, no, for sure. The length that you see St. Thomas More brings in the athleticism from multiple players. I think it could be a little bit of a challenge here. They've also been known to shoot from behind the arc at a pretty high clip. I think keeping pace and really locking in on defense for Olympus Academy is definitely going to be a key, trying to neutralize that length that they're going to be facing.
Tip-off controlled by St. Thomas More. Starting lineups first for the Chancellors as a corner three. It's Will Davies, the senior, knocking it down. They go with Will Davies, Isaiah Pasha, Roy Igwe, James LaFrance, and A.J. Rodriguez. On the other side for Olympus Academy in the white with the red accents, they go with the senior Jordan Hall, senior Karan Smith, senior Matt Sullivan, senior Dom Farisco, and the senior Mike Wiggins.
Definitely going to be interesting, and there is a 19-point score from yesterday's game in Isaiah Pasha on the court right now, so definitely a player I'm going to be keeping my eyes on.
On the other end, the three ball, and it's Matt Sullivan knocking it down. I talked to Coach Womack the other day, and he said, you don't necessarily want to say Stephen Clay because it's such a high expectation, but Smith and Sullivan are their Stephen Clay. But right now, it's the Chancellors getting hot from three. A.J. Rodriguez with an answer.
3 possessions, 3 threes. Let's see where this game takes us. It might be raining early here in the morning.
This Olympus prep team, a tough start to the year, but they've won 3 of their last 6, starting to put it together as of late. Here's some room again for Sullivan. He's got another one.
Well, living up to the Clay expectations, 2 for 2. I mean, unbelievable. Great form, and even with the closeout defender.
Pasha trying to answer. That one too strong. Finally a miss. Saved in by Smith. Chairs go flying. Sullivan, this time going to the bucket. Hangs, can't finish. Pasha, isolation, spin move. Great feed. And the foul. Roy Igwe puts it in. And he'll have a free throw coming up.
Nice job by Roy Igwe, but it's the senior guard, Isaiah Pasha. You see the spin move to free himself up, driving in hard, and just swings it over right to Igwe down low on a perfect pass. Nice playmaking there.
Igwe at the line, hit the front rim, but gets the bounce. So that puts St. Thomas More back in front, 9-6.
It's been nothing but 3-point plays early on, and they just got it the hard way. I mean, are these teams capable of scoring twos? I don't know. Who cares?
Sullivan going to work on that same wing. Getting baseline, backing down. Nice job carving out space and finishing off the window.
Right now, you got to give it to Olympus. They are stride for stride right now.
Pasha likes the matchup on the low block. Igwe in the lane. Has to reset it. Oh, Rodriguez, that's a deep one. Off the front rim, rebounded by Smith.
I thought Pasha definitely had the size advantage there against the 5'11" Dom Farisco.
And inside, a nice finish off the glass by Mike Wiggins.
Big Mike Wiggins, 6'8" down there, doing some dominant things.
Oh, James LaFrance from the parking lot.
Well, he might have hit that from France with that space that he just had there, saying bonjour.
It is a 3-point contest early on. 12-10. The Chancellor's in front. Smith trying to answer, couldn't knock it down. Nice board from Pasha. Pasha bodying inside, feeding. Igwe finishes.
I'll tell you, and this is going to be a little much, so hear me out. The way that he assists, it's kind of Giannis-esque, opening space with his physicality and getting into the lane, and then right as he's taking contact, he throws in a hard pass to open someone up. I love it.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with Isaiah Pasha over the past 2 days, especially having to handle A much bigger offensive load as Karan Smith pulls up and knocks down the long two.
Karan Smith, there's that Karan Butler on that three-point shot. Nice crossover, opened himself up. Great release point.
Rodriguez thought about a three, now pulls up on the baseline and hits.
You know, Jackie, they're getting us going early with the scoring. I mean, it's been
slugfest.
one possession each that they haven't scored on. Other than that, we're literally talking 5 for 6, 6 for 7 right now.
Smith this time gives it up. Jordan Hall in the pick and roll, poked away. Rodriguez recovers, heaves up ahead to Pasha, and Pasha lifts off.
Just too much space there, and you see Pasha, the second he saw the ball come loose, he just sneaked off on the, you want to call it a fast break, but he got a little slow break there as he had so much time, and he caps it off with the exclamation point.
Working baseline is for Isco, kick out, three ball, no good.
Just a little long there. That was about 5 feet behind the three-point line.
And Rodriguez hit with the walk. So some high-powered offense in this one early on. 18-12, St. Thomas More lead, and we get some changes for Olympus. James Moore, the 6'9" transfer out of the Patrick School here in New Jersey. And handling the ball, the senior Troy Nickel.
Being 6'9", the tallest guy on the court, we'll see if he can establish himself down in the paint here.
Also, Mohamed Traore pulling that one and leaving it short. Wasting no time coming off the bench, trying to make an impact. Inside, Igwe can't finish, but he'll shoot a free throw.
And once again, you were just seeing the Chancellors just setting up counsel down in the paint, where they are very comfortable. As we said, the length, they love to slash. They love getting those last-second passes from Pasha to set someone up. And right now, things are just clicking for him.
First free throw good for Igwe. He's off to a pretty good start in this one. He's got 6 now to lead the way for the Chancellors. Second one's good. Igwe coming to St. Thomas More by way of Tokyo, Japan. A long way around the globe to come play for 46th year head man Jerry Quinn. That one no good for Smith, out of bounds. Back to St. Thomas More. And why not, right? Jerry Smith, a legendary figure in the high school coaching space, over 1,000 career wins and a basketball Hall of Famer.
2018 class. Listen, if there's anybody that you're going to travel across the world to go play for at the high school level, it's Jerry Quinn.
Igwe had a nice AAU season, averaged about 20 and 12 on the AAU circuit.
Double-double at any level is impressive, but especially in AAU.
LaFrance too strong on that one, but an offensive rebound. Rodriguez getting to the bucket, spinning it off glass and in.
Okay, Rodriguez, we see you with that one. Nice crossover, open himself up, slicing and dicing through the defense.
Hall, oh, that might have been a double dribble. Rodriguez wanted it, didn't get it. Nickel calling for the screen. Gives it up. Moore getting to the bucket. Oh, using the length and finishing.
Great job by the 6'9" senior. Sees the space and just dominates down there.
Davies lost the handle. Saved in by Moore. Nice play. And a great outlet pass. Traore couldn't handle it, though.
Pass just a little bit behind him, and that's where the bobble comes from.
In the corner. 3-ball. LaFrance. He's got another one.
LaFrance is cash money when you leave him open. And he likes that corner. He set up shop there a couple of times. Haven't looked for him there completely, but they know that he's always there when they need the bucket.
Smith in the ISO. Pulls up for 3 and knocks it down. And a timeout. Coach Womack wants to settle his guys. And a hot start offensively for St. Thomas More. But Olympus has had the firepower to keep pace.
No, for sure. And, you know, you talk about that three-point ability from both teams. But I'll tell you, off the dribble, Karan Smith, as advertised, it's interesting. His shot decision, it's kind of kind of reminds me a little Chauncey Billups-esque. You know, if he starts playmaking a little more, starts passing around and directing traffic, that's my player comparison.
So 25-17, about 6.5 minutes gone by in this first half. If you're used to New Jersey high school basketball, this is 2 20-minute halves and a shot clock of 30 seconds. We will see New Jersey rules later on throughout the day, but for the prep games, these are the rules that they're playing. You saw Coach Jamal Womack, the first-year lead man at Olympus Academy, and I was talking to him the other day, and he talked about pretty much a total rebrand for them. They used to be a southern New Jersey school. Now they've moved into Delaware. They practice and play games out of the Philadelphia 76ers practice arena. And he said, you know, it's going to be a build, but I like the guys that we have, and I see the potential in what we're doing.
You know what? You got to go to where it works, you know. And right now, the way that they're keeping pace, they're doing something right down there, right? Especially playing with this kind of a game where it simulates more of the college game with the 2 halves and the shot clock.
Pasha stopping and popping. Nice move for Pasha.
For sure, and yesterday we saw a couple guys having a little trouble on those exact looks with picking up the foot just a little too soon, getting called for travels there. But Pasha doing a nice job of staying grounded and coming away with 2.
So the lead up to 10 now for St. Thomas More, 27-17. Nice turnaround and an answer from Mohamed Traore.
Traore waking up a little bit there. Nice job of going west to east towards the bucket, trying to get an open look.
And Pasha called for the carry. He didn't like it, but I'd say it's a fair call.
Yeah, and, you know, you see they don't always crack down on that, but at the high school level, it's a real emphasis. And I love to see it because sometimes you see some guys, even LeBron James, gets caught with the carry at times.
Nickel takes it across for Olympus. Almost threw it away. Nice job to save it. Good ball movement by Olympus. 3 ball for Sullivan. Knocks it down.
He's just been shooting lights out right now. I think he might have missed 1 from downtown, Jackie.
Coach Womack said if he is open, it's going in at least 50% of the time. And he has been red hot to start. Pasha going to work in the low block.
That's a great response. You see Pasha just always there, quick to extinguish the fire of any sort of a run that could be coming their way.
Nickel handling the pressure from Pasha. Sullivan, he likes working from that wing, this time dishing, and Moore draws the foul.
So with that foul, I'm a little heads up here. Things are about to get a little more defensive in this game for the Chancellors, looking about who's about to check into this one. Of course, I'm talking about Dante Green.
Hey, Dante Green, brother of NBA champion and pretty legendary 3-and-D figure, Danny Green. First one rattles out for Moore. He's the number 8 ranked senior in the state of New York. Came in and gave the Chancellors a nice boost yesterday in their win over Blair Academy. Second free throw good for Moore.
He showed off the defensive prowess, locking up guys multiple occasions, especially down the stretch for them. The most crucial moments of the game.
Green has it. Now gives it up. Also into the game for the first time, Jack Niradko in blue. Gets it down low, is tipped and deflected off his head. Nickel pushing the tempo in the corner. Moore sets his feet, left it short. Good fight, trying to take away the board, but knocks it out of bounds back to the Chancellors.
I'll tell you, I don't even know how Niradko is standing right now because that was some serious heat that hit off his noggin. That would have dazed me a little bit. He didn't even flinch.
So the St. Thomas More team already yesterday without Ben Defty and Justin Menard. The Boston University and Iona commits today without their lead man from yesterday, Tyler Betsy, but still leading early on. Oh, Green almost had one there. Instead, Sullivan gets loose and finally misses. I was starting to think it wasn't possible.
Yeah, I wanted to correct myself. I'm glad you said it. That is the first miss. I mean, on 11 points, 3 for 3 from downtown before that shot. Still 3 for 4. I mean, hey, shooting 75%. Listen, you heard Coach Womack compare him and Smith
He
to
said,
the Splash Brothers,
yeah,
and you see why.
Yeah, there are Steph and Clay. It's a bold comparison, but they've lived up to the billing early on. Inside, Naradko couldn't finish. Second chance got blocked inside. Third chance, no good, and Sullivan pulls down the board.
Yeah, he wanted that one back. Just might have released it just a little bit late.
That one off the window, put back, falls in for Traore. Good athleticism, and knocks down the 2.
Cut it down to a 4-point game here. It's all about keeping the game manageable. You don't have to take the lead right on every possession, but you just got to keep it alive.
And a mental mistake there. Unforced error. Yeah. So down to a 4-point game, and Olympus has the ball back. Roy Igwe checks back in. James LaFrance out there. Will Davies picking up the ball. Nice full court effort from Davies. Inside, Traore, strong move, couldn't finish. Nice defense from LaFrance. In transition. LaFrance thought about it, now pulls up at the elbow, rattled out. Moore pushing the pace. Almost had it poked away from behind. Now some room, baseline, oh boy.
Thought we were going to get some looks of Dr. J turning back the clock on that one.
On the other side, LaFrance knocks down a triple, and I think Moore tweaked that leg going up for the slam attempt. So we're going to get a timeout from Coach Womack as we sort out the injury to Moore. So high-powered start to this one. St. Thomas More after the 3 ball, leading at 32-25 with 9:11 to play in the first half.
Hey, man, they've been letting it rip from downtown. It's been truly impressive. Both teams well above 40% right now, but St. Thomas More shooting 57.1. I mean, it's just – I'm sorry, my apologies. We have our scorecards a little flipped here. Olympus 57.1, absolutely astonishing.
And you saw the replay there. You're wondering why LaFrance was able to get so freed up. Moore, the second he landed, felt some discomfort. Now he's up, walking on his own power, flexing that knee, so have to hope he's okay. James Moore, the 6'9" transfer out of the Patrick School, back to the huddle, so a good sign for Olympus. And we'll see who takes his spot out of the timeout. It's going to be Sullivan, Karan Smith, Troy Nickel, Mike Wiggins, and now Mohamed Traore comes off the bench to round out the 5 for Olympus Academy. In the corner, Nickel in some trouble, and a nice job by Green to tie him up and force the jump ball.
I mean, listen, you have the inbound pass coming in right in the corner. You see the trap initially as the Chancellor start lurking, and it's Dante Green getting in on the action with that defensive prowess. But the possession going to Olympus.
Smith over to Nickel. Up top, Sullivan. Drawing attention. Now Smith getting to the bucket. Driving kick. Nickel. Got it. A strong shooting performance in this first half for Olympus Academy, and they are hanging around. It's a 4-point game.
How about Karan Smith setting that one up, though? Back on offense as now they come down with the rebound.
Nickel beats the first man. Numbers for Olympus. Smith, pump fake, pulls it. Got it! It's a 1-point game, and Coach Quinn wants to talk things over.
They are shooting the lights out of this gym right now. It is absolutely insane. I mean, listen, this is our first game, our 10 o'clock slotted game, and they have looked like they've probably been practicing the way that they're warmed up for the last 5 hours, Jackie.
Unbelievable. 6 of 9 from beyond the arc to start in this one, and Jamal Womack has his team ready to play at 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning.
Absolutely, but 66% and change from downtown. That's better than the Splash Brothers.
So in a game that, after the performance from St. Thomas More yesterday, we were expecting them to come in here and put their stamp on it. Earlier in the season, Olympus played Blair Academy and lost by almost 20 points. Yesterday, St. Thomas More beats Blair Academy by just about 20. The math has not added up in this first half, though. Olympus Academy throwing a good punch.
Yeah, and you know what? Not to take anything away from Olympus or St. Thomas More, or even Blair Academy, but I think you're seeing personnel matters, and it's the matchup stylistics of where you can really take advantage. Right now, this is one of St. Thomas More's smaller lineups, so trying to play the three ball, it actually right now is favoring Olympus. That's the kind of style that they like to play.
And you got to give credit to Coach Womack as well, right? This is a team that started off slow, but as I said before, won 3 of their last 6. They're starting to find a bit of a groove and trying to pull off a big upset win here against the Chancellors. Igwe in the post, no good, but he's fouled, and he'll shoot 2.
And that's normally what we saw yesterday more from St. Thomas More, attacking in the paint. They still had that three-ball capability, but that's when they were really setting up camp down there. The slashers coming in, and we've seen some looks from it this morning, and they've been successful with it, just a completely different look with the mismatches that they were getting yesterday because of the height and length that they had available.
First one's good for Igwe. Also have to take into account, this is a Chancellor's team. We've mentioned it multiple times now, without Ben Defty, without Tyler Betsy, without Justin Menard, so a much different look than what you'd normally see out of them. But regardless, an impressive start for Olympus. They still trail it by 3, though. That's only one possession with the way they've played so far today. And they have a chance to tie. Sullivan, of course! It's good, and we're all knotted up at 34.
I mean, he is just absolutely ridiculous right now. Unconscious from 3, 4 of 5.
Matt Sullivan, a display from beyond the arc in the first half. Davies can't finish it. Oh, off the hands of Sullivan, though, and Igwe cleans it up.
You just got to bring down the rebound. He's been doing a fantastic job shooting, but there's other facets to the game, and he just took his eyes off the ball.
Nichols slowing it down now for Olympus. Off the screen, into the lane. Floater, blocked away. Nice defense by Green. Outlet pass. Davies floating it up. Green, no good on the lob attempt. He's fouled going up, though, and he'll have 2 free throws.
Well, there's something that we haven't seen from Green, though. I mean, the dunking capability, getting up high in the air. Couldn't finish it off, but just jumping into the air like that, a nice job.
So Dante Green at the line. No good on the first. It was halfway down and rattled out.
Yeah, I just call that highway robbery from the rim, I mean, that was – you see the shooting for him. You can definitely tell his older brother has spent some time. The shot's almost identical.
Still a replay there of him going up to get it. Putting the athleticism on display. That time left it short. So a rare empty trip to the line for Dante Green. 36-34, St. Thomas More. Barely holding on to a 2-point lead. 6:50 to go in the first half. Getting to the bucket, no good on the lane attempt, is the fresh face for Olympus Academy, Zuriel Malongo.
Very interesting how we're seeing this game right now, Jackie. You see a 3 comes from one side, a 3 comes down the other side. The one team gets to the free throw line. Here we are on the other side at the free throw line. It's just matching styles of play, and you know what? If you can convert when they convert, that's how you keep pace.
Malongo knocks down the first free throw out of Hamilton, Canada. Coach Womack said he is a pro at getting to the rim.
Couple of internationals on this Olympic squad. Of course, Malongo from Hamilton, You got Troy Nickel from New Zealand and Mohamed Traore from Montreal, Canada.
6.5 to play in the first half. Some new men in there for St. Thomas More. Igwe there couldn't finish. Shamir Green in there now for the Chancellors, along with Ayato Tukanaga. Pull up for Sullivan. He can knock down the 2-ball as well.
He's just a shooter, you know. You get him into those spaces, he lets it rip. And an interesting form, too. You saw him a little off balance, but he's able to adjust for that. Something I was never able to do.
Rodriguez, a deep 3, no good. In the lane, LaFrance feeding down low, and Igwe lays it over the front rim.
That's just a great pass from LaFrance. 2 defenders right in his grill. Just gets a little bit higher, and on the way down is able to fire it in the hole.
Out near the logo. Sullivan gets it back on the wing. Guarding him tightly. Opens up a lane on the roll, but no good on the finish. Is Traore the other way, a whistle and a foul. Rodriguez will shoot 2. So it seems like the area for St. Thomas More to focus on is going to be the paint. That is where they have dominated so far.
For sure, and you saw Rodriguez. I saw him glance over to the corner at Ayato Tukanaga, but ends up taking the foul. A trip to the line it will be.
5 offensive boards already for St. Thomas More, but they've only turned it into 4 second chance points. All even at 38. LaFrance to the bench, Isaiah Pasha back in. And now Jordan Hall comes back on for Olympus. Second one on the way from Rodriguez, too strong. So with about 5 minutes to play in this first half, Olympus playing the Chancellors even. Getting to the bucket, but can't finish Malongo.
Yeah, just a bit of a wild shot on that one.
Shamir Green, too strong and up off the top of the setting for the basket. So Olympus gets it back.
Five minutes here left in half number 1. We're all tied up at 38. And what a game to start us off of the first of our 8-game venue tonight.
Yeah, long day of games ahead. After this one, we got College Achieve and Gill St. Bernard. 2 Jersey teams, one having a resurgent year and a Gill St. Bernard team with a ton of history. Then Toms River North and Rumson in a shore showdown. After that, at 2:30, Red Bank Catholic and St. Peter's Prep. Sullivan, no good, but he's fouled, so he'll head to the line. Of course, he's not missing unless he's fouled. So 2 free throws coming up for Mike Sullivan. After that Red Bank Catholic St. Peter's game at 4 o'clock, Our Savior Lutheran, featuring one of the top players in his class, Ian Jackson. They'll take on Phelps National.
Oh, Captain Jack in the building.
Captain Jack. Excited to see the show he can put on. We've had some big performances so far this weekend already. Then at 6 o'clock, that's Our Savior Lutheran versus Roselle Catholic. Phelps National plays in our 6 o'clock game against SoCal Academy. Then at 7:30, Union Catholic and the host, Franklin High School. And to close it out, the one everyone is waiting for, the number 1 team in the country, number 1 player in the country, Montverde Academy, taking on New Jersey's best, St. Rose, as LaFrance knocks down another triple.
Big fella versus big fella. 6'9" Cooper Flagg versus 6'8" Matt Hodge. I can't wait for that matchup, Jack.
It's going to be a good one. Plenty of good basketball ahead here today in Somerset, New Jersey. Hall from the corner. He's got the answer.
Just the 3-ball ability from Olympus is just so impressive, man. It's the shot that they prefer.
That lay-in attempt, no good. So pretty much a wire-to-wire lead for St. Thomas More up until the last 2 possessions, where Olympus has jumped back in front.
And, you know, you see teams wanting to have success. Shooting 40% from three in the NBA is considered, top of the line. They're shooting over 70% right now in high school. I mean, this is just fantastic shooting. And that's why the preferred game is the three, because they knock it down at such a high rate.
Pasha hit the first, a chance to tie it here, and he's good on it. So all even at 43. 4 minutes to play in the first half. A little bit of trouble breaking the press. Now Sullivan is free in the corner. 3-ball Malongo. It's a dart, and it's in.
I mean, you can count it up. I think there's been 4 to 5 different shooters that have made threes in this one.
Unbelievable. Trying to answer on the other end. Naradko, and the big fella's got it.
It is downpouring down here in Somerset at 10:33 in the morning.
Lay-in attempt, no good for Hall, but an offensive board. And Hall will reset it. Yolier Moreno, fresh into the game for Olympus, got that board and can't finish the lay-in. Steals another offensive rebound, though, and they'll reset it with Farisco.
It's a great effort to keep in possession alive.
Farisco trying to get to the bucket, no good, but he's fouled, so in this first half, a ton of three-pointers and a ton of free throws.
It's a nice job by Farisco. Might have caught the Chancellors just a little lackadaisical on that one. I think they were expecting a three-point attempt to come and just had the first step. You saw Dante Green trying to recover on it, but just a step behind, ends up swiping at the foul.
First one's good for Farisco. And James Moore checking back into the game for Olympus Academy. So happy to see he's okay after banging up that knee earlier on. Also back in, Mohamed Traore. Coach Womack loves Traore. He said he's still working on his game, but in terms of pure potential and God-given ability, he is our number one.
You can definitely see a great athletic build, good hops from him.
Rodriguez, tough finish off the window.
You can see where some things need to be tuned up, but definitely can see the potential in that young man.
We were talking about Traore, by the way, only a junior. So a lot of seniors on this Olympus team, but Traore has 2 years before he heads off to the college ranks. So still tons of room to grow in his game. Sullivan working it down low in the post. Traore counted, and the foul on cue. The big junior finishes.
That was just like ready and action as he comes with one of the best reverses I've seen in quite some time. And you see it, just a nice job of using the body down low. Might have got away with a little chicken wing action or of the arm extension, but still on a tight angle puts up that lay-in. There was really barely any space to work with, and he converts it. And speaking of converting, he also just made that free throw.
Makes it a 50-48 Olympus lead with 2:10 to play in the first half. Green in the corner, working it back up top. Pasha taking his time. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Looking down low, gave it away. Pass intercepted by Malongo. Euro stepping, no good on the lay-in. Pasha rips down the board. Taking it across himself in the lane, feeding. Naradko carving out space, can't finish, but he's fouled.
And the foul ends up coming, but, you got to give the defensive effort an applaud from Traore. You saw him stepping in, then immediately, once the defender comes past him, ends up guarding somebody else and was just trying to take on anybody that they would let him. But a teammate ends up with the foul, and we're at the line again.
First one good for Naradko. Karan Smith back in for the first time in a while. Big Jack Naradko standing at 6'9". Knocks down the second free throw. So the Chancellors even it up, 50 apiece. A minute and a half to play in the first half. Sullivan almost lost it. Smith right there to handle it. Spinning in the lane. Nice defense by Green. Saved in. Moore for three. That one's off the mark. Not by much. Thought they had another one. Naradko got the outlet pass. That one tipped into the backcourt.
No, backcourt, absolutely. It actually was tipped off of Dante Green there and then ends up in the backcourt. That's the right call.
Oh, wow. Coach Quinn can't believe it. Yeah. I didn't see who exactly got a hand on it, but it was certainly tipped by someone.
Yeah, I believe it was Dante Green on the pass. He thought it was intended for him, and he was trying to pull his hand back, and the tip ends up off of Chancellor. That's the right call.
Moore on the baseline. He gets the walk, so inconsequential, as St. Thomas More will have it with 1:03 to play before the break.
Jackie, we're on pace to break the century mark right now with 1:03 left to play. We're all tied up at 50, and I'm sure it won't stay at 50 with the way that they've been scoring.
Final minute of play. LaFrance catch and shoot. That one's off the mark. Back to Olympus Academy.
Good old announcer's curse on that one, huh?
52 seconds left. Nickel will check in. Handle the point duties for Olympus here. St. Thomas More calling off the Dogs for a possession.
It looked like they were going full court press and all out. So interesting to see them just set up back.
Jab step, pull up, money. Mohamed Traore showing off a bunch of moves out of the bag. Going coast to coast, Rodriguez flipped it up, won't go on the break. Moore, 23 seconds to go. No good on the finish. Traore rising up for the board, but he stepped on the line out of bounds.
And listen, you know, I understand why he took it, but you got to pick your head up. He had Karan Smith on the fast break. They could have came away with 4 points in 2 possessions to end up leading this one going into halftime. But now the Chancellor's going to have another shot at it.
Shot clock turned off, 10 seconds to play in the half. Green with 5 in the corner. Pasha, step back 3. Yes! Beating the horn and giving the Chancellors the lead as they head into the locker room.
How about Pasha stepping up there on the last possession? You want the ball in your best player's hand, and right now, no disrespect, he is the best player for the Chancellors on that court. And he goes, I'll go one-on-one with your top prospect. No problem. Step back 3, cash money, and they're up 1 headed into half.
So the 3 ball giving the Chancellors the lead, a spread attack from St. Thomas More in that first half. But Mike Sullivan doing everything he could to keep Olympus Academy in it. 18 points in that first half for Sullivan. We're going to step aside for a minute here. It's NJ Hoop Recruit, powered by All Abilities Live. Jack Bartek, Brandon Marazzo will be back for the second half action. But after the break, Luke and Vincent will be breaking down the first half.
Well, half number 1 is in the books. St. Thomas More is up by a single-digit point, which starting this half, it really didn't look like it was going to go that way. Olympus down by 1, but it was a lot worse. At one point, Olympus was down by 11. They had the lead at one point. Of course, the halftime show. I'm Vincent Picone. I'm joined by the always amazing Luke Sirianni. We've got a lot to talk about in a little amount of time. I mean, Luke, we're going to start off with you. St. Thomas More, from what we saw, they were dominating the first half of this first half. But this second half wasn't really the best that they can do. But what did you really see from this half?
It's been a great scoring half. You know, although Olympus is only down by 1, Thomas has been on a roll, scoring on all different cylinders here. James LaFrance leading the way, 18 points. Isaiah Pasha right behind, 17 points. And AJ Rodriguez, 16 points. So far, we got 5 players in double-digit scoring just for St. Thomas. They got to stop them defensively if you're Olympus. That's the halftime adjustment they got to make.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to get a little bit more into that in just a little bit, but on the Olympus side, they've just been consistently shooting. We saw it. It opened up 2 straight threes from Matthew Sullivan, who has 18 points right now. He's 6 for 8 from the field and 4 for 5 from beyond the arc. It's been an incredible night for him to watch. Not to mention, he's got 7 boards, a steal, and a block to match it. I mean, going into this second half, I'm going to keep on going to Sullivan. It's been working for them so far. Now, on the other side, Karan Smith, who we talked about a little bit in the pregame, he's been electric from the scoring end. He's only taken 5 shots. He's 3 for 5 right now. He's got 8 points, and he's been very consistent, which, you know, we've talked about it. He's an electric scorer. He's very consistent. That's what you like to see. And I think going into the second half, if they want to take this lead, if they want to move forward, just keep the consistency. Right now, it's been key for them. Now, Luke, we saw a little bit in the second half of this first half. St. Thomas More fell apart a little bit. What did you see from them in that second part?
Yeah, you know what? I think they struggled on the defensive half. A little bit of allowing Olympus to come back and score. Although, you know, like I said, St. Thomas has been electric scoring-wise, but Olympus right there keeping up. Just got to play better defense. You got to guard that three-point shot. That goes for both teams, though, because both teams, that three-point shot is electric today. Yeah,
it's been all over the place. The three has been flying. And we're going to be right back here for the post game. But don't go anywhere, as we're going to send you back over in just a little bit to Jack Bartek and Brandon Marazzo. Thanks for joining us on NJ Hoop Recruit, powered by All Abilities Live. Halftime report.
Back here on NJ Hoop Recruit, powered by All Abilities Live. Jack Bartek alongside Brandon Marazzo. And it was a three-point galore in the first half. A bunch of them on both sides. Check out some replays here. Matt Sullivan had a big first half. On the other side, Rodriguez had the answer. Both sides flame throwing from deep.
No, absolutely, just getting after it. Sullivan going 4 for 5 in that first half from downtown. The team shooting at 69%. I mean, that is absolutely ridiculous right now.
But a 3-ball right before the half off the hands of Pasha took St. Thomas More into the break with a lead, 53-52.
And it's not like St. Thomas More hasn't been shooting lights out either. I mean, 47%, Hall of Fame numbers at 40. So both of these teams very efficient from downtown.
That one pinballs around into the hands of Smith. Jack Bartek, Brandon Marazzo here at Franklin High School. It's day 3 of the Metro Classic 2024. Great day of games ahead. We'll take you all the way through 9 o'clock when Montverde takes on St. Rose, two of the top teams in the nation.
Trying to hit it off the bank, but it's I don't think they're open on Saturdays.
That one inside and good.
And that time, you see Roy Igwe just using all of his frame to shield off a defender and power through on a powerful layup.
He's got 15 to lead the way for St. Thomas More. That ball free, picked up by Davies. Pasha takes off.
Just hitting the runway, and he had to tell Igwe, hey, I'm not letting you be the leading scorer right now. We're going to battle amongst ourselves as they go back and forth for buckets.
And you see Tyler Betsy, the lead man from yesterday, out there to greet his squad off the bench. He's got that knee iced up. So this St. Thomas More team, without Justin Menard, Tyler Betsy, London Jameson, and Ben Defty, shorthanded, and despite an outrageous three-point performance from Olympus, they're leading 57-52.
Well, you know what, Matt? They've been so efficient, just keeping possessions alive. You see the extra pass coming in, and they can shoot the 3-ball, but they also were capable of scoring down low in the paint, getting those backdoor cutters. They love getting the extra assist in. You know, this is a complete team for St. Thomas More. Olympus has done a fantastic job of keeping pace, but we're going to see who can get to the finish line. Looks like it's going to be a photo finish.
18:35 to play here in the second half. Olympus Academy trying to pick up a signature win and keep that momentum moving in the right direction. But a strong start to the second frame for the Chancellors of St. Thomas More. Hall, pull up at the elbow, missed everything. Saving it in was, I believe it was Sullivan. No, it was Mike Wiggins, but he had a foot on the line.
And you see Coach Womack not happy with the team, saying you got to be aware where the ball is. You got to help bail him out there when he's trying to make a play and save it.
Davies up top to Rodriguez. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Davies off the screen, floats it down to Igwe. Nice agility from Igwe, can't finish. Rebound tapped all the way out to Frisco.
Surprised he didn't come away with points on that possession, too. That was a nice adjustment in the air.
Sullivan had some space. They just found him too late. Hard to believe he's getting any room right now after that first half performance. They're trying to get him free. This time Rodriguez sticks to him, down to 9 on the shot clock. Karan Smith pulls up at the elbow. That one's off the mark. Rebound by Igwe.
And the way you just saw LaFrance guard Smith, that's exactly how they need to guard Sullivan.
Rodriguez with a deep 3 ball. A 7-0 start to the second half for the Chancellors.
They lock in on defense, and they can shut down the 2 shooting guards. I mean, they could be in a really good position to pull away.
3 minutes gone by here in the second half. Inside, Sullivan. Oh, showing off the post game. He can do it at all 3 levels.
Especially with a defender like Pasha on him to beat him to that spot.
Rodriguez on the heat check, no good.
I mean, just fantastic. There was literally no room to work with.
Smith in transition left it short. Davies gives it up. Down to Rodriguez. Good matchup against the much shorter Frisco. Takes advantage.
And those were those mismatches we saw yesterday versus Blair Academy that the bigs of St. Thomas More were taking advantage of and just getting smaller bodies down in the post and just eating them up in the blender.
And Frisco was on the line, out of bounds, back to St. Thomas More again.
It's been a couple of tough offensive possessions here for Olympus. Outside of that lone post score coming from Matt Sullivan, they haven't really got much to go, but still a lot of time left here, 16 minutes.
One thing, both of these teams have both been very careful with the ball. Rodriguez pulling that one straight on, no good. That was only the 5th turnover for Olympus. The 2 teams have combined for only 11. And we're already 4 minutes gone by in this second half. Davies almost forced another one there, but out of bounds. It'll stay with Olympus.
And Will Davies showing off the defensive prowess himself, and you see him being able to shuffle with some speedy ball handlers, picking them up full court and sticking to them like glue.
Smith, give and go off the inbound, steps into one, off the back rim. Rodriguez, up ahead, LaFrance, no hesitation, short. He had a nice half from beyond the arc in the first half and a chance at an old-fashioned 3-point play here for Rodriguez.
How about the offensive board, though, from Roy Igwe, and then the bounce pass right over to Rodriguez, and A.J. Rodriguez able to take the contact, stay composed, and impose his will down there.
Mike Wiggins to the bench for Olympus.
Looks like Red Bank Catholic in the building.
They'll be taking on St. Peter's later on. Taking in some basketball before that one. 15 and a half to play here in the second half. Nickel across the timeline. Big start to this second half for St. Thomas More, 12-2 in this frame. Sullivan led the way for Olympus in half number 1. Couldn't get that one to go, but Moore is there on cleanup duty.
Someone's had to clean that one up. James Moore using all of his 6'9".
Igwe going up strong.
But right down on the other end, you see Igwe with the thicker frame, giving up a little inches in terms of height, but that chest size looks to be a whopping 40.
17-6 for Roy Igwe. He has been terrific. And Coach Womack wants to talk it over. So a tremendous start to this second half for St. Thomas More, starting to flex their muscles a bit, although they got out to a hot start in that first half too.
No, for sure, but you know, St. Thomas More, this is what they do. We were talking about yesterday of how they were able to come back and get things rolling. And Jackie, when you asked me yesterday what I was excited to see for day 2, my answer went to, I want to see how St. Thomas More gets out to a lead. Can they put the nail in the coffin? This is their chance here. They were leading most of that first half, and then it got a little bit away from them, but still very close of a game. But now here they are, starting to pull away a little bit more. The question for me, can they close out this game in style and dominant force?
So we'll see. They're up to their largest lead of the morning, nearing in on the afternoon. An 11-point lead coming out of the timeout. We'll see what Coach Womack has up his sleeve. Have to imagine they're going to try and get Sullivan going. At 18 in the first half, but only 2 here with over 5 minutes gone by.
Shout out our guy Ryan Tullio on the court cam. As you see, they're getting real up close and tight on the action.
In the first half, St. Thomas More had it up to 11 early on, and this one cut back down to 9. A tough finish from Traore, who has showed off that high potential.
Just keeps on adding to different levels of his game in this one. We heard about the capabilities of this young junior, but I'll tell you, he's showing flashes. He might be looking like a junior in college sometimes.
He's got 11. Second leading scorer for Olympus today. Off the inbound, LaFrance gets it back. He's feeling it. 5th 3 of the night for James LaFrance. Oh, 15 from beyond the arc.
Just absolutely insane, and he's been shooting it from distance, and no problem being 4 or 5 feet behind the three-point line. He prefers the space.
Talking to the coaching staff at St. Thomas More, they called him a zero-gap shooter. You got to get a hand in his face, or he'll make you pay.
And he's been shooting over 50% in this game, too, and with all shots coming from downtown. I mean, that is efficiency at its finest.
Good 3-and-D guy, and standing at just 6'2", you have to feel like he can have an impact at the next level. Pasha, oh, nice foot throw, and puts home the righty hook.
Great job of creating space, and speaking of shutting down space, see LaFrance almost come away with it. I'm sorry, Will Davies almost come away with it.
3 ball there, won't go for Traore. Pasha with a board. Nice outlet up ahead to Davies. Steps into it and knocks it down. Very efficient in half number 2, St. Thomas More, and they've opened up their biggest lead of the night at 16.
See, Will Davies wanted to show off the motor here. Almost coming away with the steal on that one.
A 7-0 run now for the Chancellors. Smith in the lane, falling away, short.
That was a good look, too. Just left a little bit left to be desired on the shot. Needed a little more power, a little more arc to get that one to go in.
Igwe muscling down low and laying it in.
And right on cue, there's the power, Roy Igwe. 2 defenders on him, no problem for the big fella.
Igwe has been great in this one for the Chancellors. Up to 19 now to go along with 7 boards and 4 assists. Crossover, Traore, left it short. LaFrance, he's feeling it. That one's short though, Rodriguez there, can't finish, but the second chance is good.
And that's gonna be a timeout coming, and I'll tell you right now, if you're going to pull a shot like that off the dribble 3 on the fast break, you do it when you have 2 rebounders like Rodriguez and Igwe down low for the cleanup just in case you miss. And I'll tell you right now, coming out of half, Coach Jerry Quinn, 46th year, no wonder why he's got the over 1,000 wins. No wonder why he's a Hall of Famer. I mean, man, the adjustments, I don't know exactly what he tweaked, but they were just playing even more efficient. I didn't even think that was capable of happening because of how good they were in the first half.
It's no surprise either. This guy has had nothing but success with the Chancellors. 45 seasons before this one, all of them winning seasons. Has not had a losing year at the school, and they're on pace this year. 23-4 coming into the day. Spectacular.
And listen, if they keep it up, I mean, a 20-point lead, there is just under 12 minutes left to play, but I'm not calling it over. I'm just saying they are in a good position to reach 24-4 on the year. So we'll see what happens as they keep things going. But right now, I'm really interested to see how Coach Womack and Olympus respond right here. They were neck and neck. They need to get back to those three-point shooting ways. They need to get the ball in the hands of Matt Sullivan, and they need to get him open right now because he was just absolutely electrifying in half number one. But you got to go back to the hand that feeds you.
You saw Sullivan coming out of the huddle there. Had 18 points in the first half, held in check here so far in half number two with just 2 points. And almost halfway through this second period, 11:53 to play, it was a 52-point first half for Olympus Academy, just 6 points in the second frame so far.
Yeah, they got to get it going. And you're seeing the defense right now as LaFrance almost came away on that last inbound, swiping at it in the air. And Davies now showing off the press. Just absolutely hounding defense right now.
Nickel had to give it up. No room on the sideline. Sullivan works it out towards the half court. Backdoor feed, and a bit too strong for Sullivan. Came down on the line. Another turnover, giving it back to St. Thomas More. Definitely less sharp here in the second half.
Yeah, and you know, I know that the 2 points coming from Sullivan in this half came from that reverse down low, but I would like to see them getting him open up on the wings where he's more comfortable, where his game really shines.
LaFrance draws the foul going up, so he'll have a chance to get some non-three-pointer points here. Unless they say he was on the floor. I thought he was going up. And yes, now they're going to line him up, and LaFrance will shoot 2. So LaFrance, who has put on a sweet display from beyond the arc. Nice stroke at the free throw line as well. James Moore out. Coming on in his spot, Mike Wiggins. Second one's good for LaFrance. He's up to 17 now tonight. Igwe, LaFrance, and Rodriguez, along with Pasha, all over 15, leading the charge for the Chancellors. Smith has some space, that time short. Igwe had it knocked out of his hands. Rodriguez going baseline. Oh, beautiful reverse lay-in. A.J. Rodriguez.
You know, Rodriguez shows flashes of just absolute spectacular ball play at times. And I'm really impressed by him. I would like to see the ball go to him just a little bit more, but with so much talent, there's only so much the rock could be shared. But he makes the most of his chances.
Rodriguez, the transfer from Iona Prep, was third-team All-State in New York last year. Igwe couldn't hit that one. It's a 15-0 run over the last 4 minutes for St. Thomas More, and you go back over the last 12 minutes, 34-8. They have totally turned the tides here in the second half. In the lane, no good on the attempt is Malongo, but he'll get 2 free throws out of it.
Yeah, we always talk about that pendulum swing of momentum, and right now it looks like they just have a magnet on it as everything's just falling their way.
And I'll tell you what, you shoot 70% from 3, as Olympus did in that first half, 9 of 13. You'll be in any game. In the second half, they've come crashing back down to earth. 0 for 5 from distance. And that's the difference in the ballgame. Igwe, LaFrance head to the bench for St. Thomas More. Uradko, Shamir Green back on. Just under 10 minutes to play here in the first game of day 3 at the Metro Classic. Jack Bartek, Brandon Marazzo. It's NJ Hoop Recruit powered by All Abilities Live. We will have the action all day long for you. 3 ball from the wing, too strong.
That's a good look, just maybe rushing it. A little frustration could be setting in. A nice job getting in the passing lane, though.
That one deflected out of bounds. Igwe checks back in for Naradko, who looks a bit hobbled on his way off. Coming up next, College Achieve and Gil St. Bernard. Their tip-off set for 12 o'clock. Davies in the lane, he walked.
Picking up that pivot foot, they're going to hit you every time, especially when you're wearing those bright aqua sneakers like him. Pretty easy to see.
Smith gives it up. Davies, good hands on the break, avoiding the ref, floating it up. Oh, Shamir Green couldn't finish. Davies had it fall right into his hands for an easy 2. So there you go. You show off some good teammate skills on the lob. Sometimes you get rewarded.
Hey, you almost took out a ref. I think that's every player's dream, right?
I got more worried. He was about to take us out the way he was coming, barreling towards the table. 3 ball, finally one falls for Olympus, and Mohamed Traore adds to a nice day. He's up to 14. It's the first 3 ball of the second period for Olympus. Trying to answer is Pasha, and he does.
I believe that's 18 on the day for him, just splashing it home from 3. I mean, he's showing off everything in this game. And look at the defense here.
Smith, kick back. Sullivan hasn't been able to get it going here in the second half. Green up ahead of the pack, no good.
And that was about to be a stat sheet stuffing performance from Pasha if that assist goes.
Nice feed down low by Smith. Easy 2 for Wiggins. And that 3 ball from Pasha was the story of this second half, right? Finally, Olympus gets something to go their way, and St. Thomas More immediately with a counter. How about Igwe inside? He's showing off the full bag so far today.
He crashed right into Mike Wiggins on that one, but able to adjust. I don't even know how you keep your composure when you can barely even see the basket with that much contact in you.
Working on the baseline, Traore from the mid-range this time.
Again, Traore has been showing he can score from all over the place.
Deep 3 ball for Green off the front rim. Smith. Free throw line, Wiggins, yes.
Good rip through. I actually thought we were going to see Karan Smith try to take Passion there, but with the speed and the length that he was seeing, it was a smart move dumping it off. And that time set up a guy and a nice assist.
6:50 to go. Rodriguez pulls the triple, bounces out. Fight for the rebound, and it'll stay with the Chancellors. Some changes being made. Tukanaga back in, along with LaFrance for St. Thomas More. Jordan Hall back on. Yolier Moreno defending Igwe. Igwe with the hook, Ed gets the bounce. Roy Igwe's over 20 on the night. And it is a romping here in the second half.
I believe he's just tied Rodriguez for the most points for St. Thomas More at 21.
Green with a burst, almost took it away. Good hands from Sullivan. Sullivan gets it back. Stop and pop. Got it. Sullivan had 4 in the first half. That's his 5th. He's put on quite a display from beyond the arc.
And I'm impressed with how he gets back into rhythm on that one. You saw him get the ball, and he just needed that bounce just to get into his spot. Speaking of needing a bounce.
Beautiful move from LaFrance.
Hopping right into that layup.
That is his first field goal from inside the arc today, but he's got 19.
Scored from all over, you know, threes down low at the free throw line. I think he just needs a midi.
Sullivan stepped on the line, so it'll go back to the Chancellors. 5.5 minutes to play. The lead has ballooned up to 22. All St. Thomas More in the second half. We got a timeout. And Maz, Olympus just not able to find their footing offensively here coming out of the locker room.
Yeah, no, and I think it was just the different defensive looks and more so just the defensive activity that they were faced with in St. Thomas More. I mean, clearly Coach Quinn at halftime said it's time to ramp it up on defense. We're giving them way too much looks on the perimeter. Let's try to run them off the line. We're going to start getting hands in shooters' faces, and we're just going to basically make life uncomfortable for Olympus. And you see that even with the full court press, and a nice job, Will Davies leading the way, and with him setting the tone, it allowed Isaiah Pasha and co to start really rotating.
93-71 lead for the Chancellors. They seem poised to get over the century mark. .537 left.
Could it be the return of Olympus?
Oh, and an easy two for LaFrance out of the break. Caught Olympus sleeping. Back up to a 24-point game, ties the largest lead of the day. Sullivan to the bucket, short, gets his own miss. Tapped around now into the hands of Rodriguez. Gives it up, Davies. No good, but a foul.
And still just pushing the pace here. They're not comfortable with that lead. And this is how you close out a game in a dominant fashion. You keep full pedal to the metal. You get to the line. You get guys in foul trouble. It kind of crushes the spirit. And once again, you see Davies with a high impact play, getting things going, getting to the line, and he's just had a good showing. I mean, only 5 points on the scoreboard, but he does everything else that this team really asks for him. You know, he doesn't need to be a scorer. He needs to be a defender. He needs to be a facilitator, and you see him out on the wing, even directing traffic here.
In the corner, a three ball, no good for Traore. Rodriguez gives it up to LaFrance. He thought about the three. He's felt real comfortable from beyond the arc today. How about that matchup, him and Sullivan? They have had quite the day against one another. That one knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Chancellors.
That's what you want, right? I mean, that's why NJ Hooper Crew wanted the rights to this broadcast. You want to see the best players going at the best. And right now here at the Metro Classic, dare I say, the best event of the year.
Davies has to give it up. Igwe kicks it out. Three ball short for Tukanaga. In transition, Hall getting to the bucket. Off the window, bounced out. Out of bounds, it'll stay with Olympus. 4:23 to go.
And we are in the moments of what I like to call pride ball, because we are playing for pride at this point.
Hall looking to get it in, having some trouble. Nice hook shot there from Yolier Moreno. Haven't seen much out of him today, but nice touch on that one for the easy two.
And, you know, even if they're going to fall in this one, you got to appreciate the effort of still coming down and defending, still looking to get buckets, you know.
Tukanaga was no good. Smith the other way, no. Moreno another offensive board. Smith, a lot of space, got it. So now some shots starting to fall for Olympus, but a little too little, a little too late.
Yeah, they could have used that three ball at the beginning of this half sooner, but still, even with Karan Smith, I know missing that layup, and you can see the frustration a little bit, but still to be able to come back and hit that three, I mean, he's something special from behind the arc, too.
Down to 3.5 minutes to go. 8 on the shot clock. Igwe, Euro step and laying it in with the left hand.
That's a big Euro step, my friend. I mean, you see the size of those thighs. They're like tree trunks.
There
carving
goes
out space.
Sullivan again. He had a huge first half. Knocks that one down. His 6th 3-ball of the night.
And he's only missed one.
26 for Matt Sullivan. 3-ball up top. Off the mark for LaFrance. Off the top wire.
And what a facility that we got here down in Somerset. But the one problem with high school ball is, unlike NBA arenas, you do have the boards coming from up top. The apparatus gets in the way every now and then. You know, if we could just expand every gym in New Jersey just a little bit more, I think it'd be better for the game.
They've packed in some big crowds here the past 2 days. This Hall's no good on the 3. Expect a big one tonight as Montverde comes to town for the last game of the Metro Classic. And, of course, anytime you have the #1 team in the nation in your area, you're going to pack it out.
And we got plenty of seating here with this great facility. You know, you might want to check that one out in person. But, of course, you can always stick with us. I wouldn't blame you if you chose that either.
LaFrance for 3, no good. Rebound tapped around. Hall has it. We had some star power in the building last night. Carmelo Anthony here to watch his son and Long Island Lutheran High School.
Andre Iguodala.
Moreno with the board.
Julius Randle.
Yep.
And don't forget my personal favorite,
Kyle O'Quinn.
Kyle O'Quinn, the best beard in the NBA.
Tahad Pettiford was in the building as well. Hudson Catholic McDonald's All-American Game selection.
He might have been the most popular guy in the building. You saw him go down the line. Melo gets dapped up. Randall gets dapped up. Iguodala gets dapped up. And the ref in the middle of the game.
Well, when you make the McDonald's game, that profile goes way up. He was already well known before that, but anybody that didn't know the name knows it now, and as they should. The future Auburn Tiger.
27th in the nation right now, according to the ESPN rankings.
He's put on a couple shows this year.
Oh, man, with the leaping ability, you want to talk about hops. Tahad jumps with the best of them. And we'll see some hops today. Oh.
LaFrance got free and shows off the bunnies, putting one down.
Looked like a little Chino Hills action on that one. LaMelo Ball would be proud.
That takes St. Thomas More over the century mark, 100-82 with 1:30 to play.
Jackie, was my math right for once?
That one poked away from behind. Davies pushing the pace. LaFrance, oh, he thought about it. I thought he was going for the heat check for sure.
Davies looking like Steve Nash with that behind the back and the dribble on that one. They really are not letting up here.
Tukanaga waves off the screen. Down to 1:10 to go.
Oh, Tukanaga wants some action.
The isolation, spinning it up, no good. St. Thomas More bench into it. They want to see some Tukanaga buckets, but 2 free throws coming up for the senior. All the way from Tokyo, Japan.
How about Tukanaga? I mean, he saw, listen, that wasn't.
Oh, they are going to count the buckets, so it's an N1 opportunity for Ayato Tukanaga.
Oh, that was interesting. I think the ball was still above the rim. It looked like it was coming out, though, so that's unfortunate to touch it. Doesn't complete the three-point play. But Tukanaga now making it a 20-point game.
In the box score, Rodriguez with the block.
And he kind of had to take it, too, especially with the shot clock. I mean, that's what I love about it. It forces action in moments where normally we would just see the ball dribble it out, but then you miss moments like this.
Tukanaga working the pick and roll, lays it in.
You see the bench very happy for Tukanaga. And, hey, listen, you got to get your points where you can, right? All crucial moments. I love closing out a game.
On the other end, that one won't go. Shot clock turned off. Rodriguez takes it across. And Olympus calls off the Dogs, so the final 20 seconds will run out. St. Thomas More, a clean sweep on the weekend. They improved to 24-4 Olympus, a strong first half, but they'll drop to 5-9 on the year, and we're off to a hot start. Game 1 of the Metro Classic, St. Thomas More 104, Olympus 82.
The Chancellors weren't very diplomatic in that second half, Jackie, as that defense was just absolutely blistering. They were getting out onto the break. They were efficient. They were looking for the open man. And right now you are seeing that Jerry Quinn really does this coaching thing.
Matt Sullivan with 29 to lead the way for Olympus. He was red hot in that first half, but a huge second half from the Chancellors. Ended up being 51-30 in that second half, but they were real strong coming out of the break. Too much to handle.
No, for sure. And you saw kind of a four-way battle for top scorer between Pasha, LaFrance, and Rodriguez, but it will be Roy Igwe who comes away with the most. 25 points, 10 for 13. You got to be kidding me.
Igwe leads the way. 3 Chancellors over 20. And they take the win here in Game 1 of the Metro Classic. Jack Bartek, Brandon Marazzo. We're going to step aside for a minute here at Franklin High School. NJ Hoop Recruit powered by All Abilities Live. Luke and Vincent standing by, ready to break it down. And then for the next game, we're going to turn it over to John Edmond and Anthony Cafone. On deck, Gil St. Bernard taking on College Achieve. Luke and Vincent will have the breakdown in just a minute. Don't go anywhere.
All right, everyone, we're here for our first post-game show of the day. Game 1 is now behind us. Game 2 is ahead of us. But really quick, let's go over post-game. All right, St. Thomas More, it was a close game. It was a one-point game going into the second half.
It all changed real fast, though. St. Thomas More, foot on the gas. I said their adjustment at halftime had to be guard the perimeter. That went for both teams. Olympus didn't follow that pattern of defense, but St. Thomas More did. Great adjustment, and their offense kept on rolling. Yeah,
Olympus really struggled in the second half. I mean, St. Thomas More, it was 51-30 scoring. And Olympus's stars, Matthew Sullivan, 2 for 5 in the second half with 5 points. And Kieran Smith, who we were talking about in the pregame about being such an electric scorer, he struggled. He went 0 for 6 from the field, truly limiting the offense entirely for Olympus. I mean, but on the other side, St. Thomas More, you got to give it to them. 51 points is nothing to joke about. What'd you see from them, Luke?
Yeah, Roy Igwe ended the game as the leading scorer for them. 25 points. He wasn't in our top 3 in the first half for scoring. Ended the game with 25. James LaFrance kept it up, 23 points, and then A.J. Rodriguez, 21. He got really hot in the first quarter, slowed it down, but it wasn't enough for the win today.
No, absolutely not. Now, coming up behind us is our next game, College Achieve against Gil St. Bernard's. But before we go there, we have some great highlights for you of just this second half, and we're going to send it over there right now. All right, another great highlight sheet. We got a lot of those coming for you today. Got to give credit to our amazing replay man who's walking away right now, Maurice Jenkins. Great guy. But as we conclude, St. Thomas More advances to 13-3, and Olympus falls today. But we'll be back for pregame of game number 2 coming up a little bit. As for the NJ Hoop Recruit, powered by All Abilities, I'm Vincent Picone. This is Luke Sirianni, and we'll be back soon.